Hello and welcome to Vicky's Country Home. Today I'm going to be canning lemon, garlic, green beans that are just amazing. But first I had to show you this incredible flower that just bloomed. It's a Night Blooming Cerius and my house smelled amazing. This is my front flower bed and I love my roses. And this week has been insane amount of vegetables coming out of my garden, and this is just some of them. I have been going nonstop trying to process all this food, and I'm not getting it all videoed because there's just too much. I also made Linda's tomato pie to take to a barbecue, and it was a hit. Hi everyone. Well, I'm canning more green beans. My garden is still producing. It's slowing down a little, but I'm still getting a lot of green beans. So I'm canning some more up today. I have 13 jars, and this recipe is out of this Ball Canning and Preserving book. And I love it. It is lemon, garlic, and pepper green beans with chicken broth. My family eats it so fast I'm just going to make a lot because I know they're going to eat them all. So I have gone through, I washed and snapped my green beans, and you raw pack these. So I've got my clean jars, I put my green beans in them, and each one has one large clove of garlic crushed. I didn't mince it, dice it, anything. It's just crushed and peeled. And I put half a teaspoon, a little bit less, of canning salt in each jar. Just over a quarter teaspoon of black pepper, and I like to use this coarse ground black pepper. I just like it for this. And then each jar is going to get let me double check. A quarter teaspoon of lemon zest, and it's going to get 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. And I juiced the lemons that I zested, and if I need more, I'll supplement with bottled lemon juice. If you're water bath canning, you have to use bottled lemon juice so that you get the right acidity. But because this is pressure canned, this is just for flavor. So you can use bottled or you can use fresh. And I'm going to use the fresh, and I'll probably have to add some bottled too. So it really is pretty simple. You just add your lemon zest, and if I go over a quarter teaspoon, that's okay because this stuff's pure flavor. Look at that, pure flavor. I love lemon zest. I like to cook with it. So I'm just going to go through and do this, and then I've got my chicken stock heating on the stove, so it'll be ready to put in the jars. And once I put it in the jars, then all I have to do, put my lid, clean the rims, put my lids and rings on, and into the canner. So I'll bring you back. Okay, so I've got all my jars filled. I've got them seasoned with garlic, coarse ground pepper, lemon zest, lemon juice, and now I'm going to add the chicken broth, chicken stock. And I'm going to fill these to 1-inch headspace with hot chicken stock. And we are going to debubble. You always debubble. Make sure that you don't have any airspace in there that could cause you problems and cause your food to spoil. That needs a tiny bit more after getting bubbles out. Okay, so now I'm going to clean the rim. And I checked all my jars carefully for any kind of defects, and I also checked the rims to make sure that there were no nicks or anything that might cause a failure. So, finger tight, and then that goes right into the canner, which has warm water. It's not boiling, but it is warm. And you always, if you're using warm ingredients like the chicken stock, then you want to put it into a warm canner. Debubble. This also helps stir down the ingredients and kind of mix it up. Clean the rim. And poke those down a little. Let's clean that again just to be sure. If you don't get the rim completely clean, your jar might not seal. And why go to all this work if your jar isn't going to seal and be safe? Okay, so I have 11 more jars to go. And these are warm. They're not super hot because the other ingredients were cold. But they're still warm enough to go into the warm canner. So I'm going to get all these filled, and I'm going to be using some tattlers. I might bring you back and show you some of those. So let me get these others out of the way, and then I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, I've got 9 of the jars in the canner. I've got 2 left, and I'm using tattler lids on these, and I'm doing the tattler lids last. I already did some tattler. But the reason I'm doing them last is when these come out of the canner, you have to tighten the lid. So I want these to come out first so that I can do that right away. So I've got them in warm water, and you just make sure they're centered. And these are 2 pieces, and I'll show you on the next one. But make sure it's centered. Put your ring on, finger tight, and then back off just a touch. And I believe it's the way these lids vent, but they're reusable for a number of times. The rubber gaskets can last, I think it's around 10 times up to. The plastic lid, I don't know that I've heard of any that have gone bad. So that jar's going in. And I've already debubbled and all of that, so that's all done. But if you can see, this is a 2-piece, it's a gasket and a plastic lid. So you put them on and make sure they're centered. Hold it in place. Put your ring on, tighten it, finger tight, and then back off just a touch. Okay, and that jar is going to go in the canner too. So these jars, let me double check my timing. These are pint jars, so they're going to process for 20 minutes. And for me, it's 15 pounds of pressure because I'm over 5,000 feet in altitude. So I'm going to get my canner closed up. I'm going to get this up to pressure, and then I want it to vent a steady stream of steam. That's always so hard to say, but that's what it is. So you want it to vent steady for 10 minutes, and once it's vented strongly for 10 minutes, then we put the weight on and then it will process, once it comes up to temperature, and in my case, it's going to, the weight is going to start to jiggle. If you have a gauge canner, then you're going to bring it up to the pressure for your altitude. So for me, once that starts to jiggle and I adjust the temperature to get it steady, then it's going to process for 20 minutes because it's pints. So I'm going to get this canner closed up and I will bring you back in a little while. So I wanted to show you, this is my All-American canner 921, and it's 21 quarts. And this canner will hold 14 pints. I have 13, so it's not quite totally full. But what I want to show you is when I put the lid on, I really try and make sure it's even all the way around, because this has no gasket on it. This is totally a pressure seal, metal on metal. So you want to make sure that it's equal pressure all the way around, so you do opposite sides. Okay, so you get all of these and you do opposite sides until it's tight. You want a nice strong seal. So once you get that all closed up, then I'm going to turn the heat up to a little over medium on my range, but it's probably going to be higher on most of them. And I'm going to bring this up until it's venting, and then I will bring you back and show you what's next. Okay, I have processed the green beans for 20 minutes after it came up to pressure, and then I turned the heat off. So now it has come all the way down to 0 pressure, and I'm going to take the weight off. Now I'm going to let it sit for 5 minutes. And what that does is that prevents the jars from being shocked and the liquid from evacuating in them. So now I just walk away and let it sit for 5 minutes. Okay, so I have let this sit without the pressure on the weighted gauge. So now I'm going to open this up. And I do this the same way I started. Opposite sides. Not sure it's necessary, but this is how I do it. So carefully and always open away from you. That way any steam won't get in your face. And now these are the Tattler lids. So I'm going to move the camera so you can see what I do, but I'm going to take them out first. Okay, apparently my video didn't take, but these Tattler lids, when you take them out, you left them a little bit loose when you put them in the canner, and part of their sealing process is when you take them out, you need to tighten the ring. So that's what I've been doing, and I'm going to finish getting these out. And these are very, very hot when they come out of the canner, so use caution. So I get all of my Tattler lids out first, and I crank the lid down so that I get a good seal. And I love the fact that with Tattler lids, these are reusable. So many, many uses before you have to replace the rubber gasket. And then I have a few jars that are just the regular ball jars. And these you don't have to crank down. You just take them out and let them cool undisturbed. So there you go. These are green beans with lemon, garlic, pepper, and chicken broth. So these are just so wonderful. We had some with dinner. We enjoyed them so much. We've been waiting since last year when we ran out to have more, so we're really excited that we have them again. So there we go. I just had to show you another shot of this gorgeous flower and this crazy looking bulb that looks like it's out of Little Shop of Horrors. And again, my garden just makes me happy. My flowers and my vegetables. Thank you again for watching Vicky's Country Home, and I hope you'll come back, and I hope you enjoyed it and will like and share with your friends.